What up, what up, what up? It's your boy Dave B. Watch DaveBeyondTV, where we go beyond the everyday bullshit that people be consuming on a day-to-day basis. And I wanted to make a quick video. This is not the full new moon video, but it's just like a little insight as we approach that energy, because the moon is sliding into Aries today. And so, there's some things we need to be aware of at the moment. With this stellium going on, there's a lot of important things to kind of catch, and it can create an energy inside of you that could feel like a big old knot in your throat. You know what I'm saying? Like a big old, like, esoteric knot in your chest if you're not and really at this time you got to embrace that. You got to understand what's going on. It's just a matter of the energies that's interacting. You got the moon, the object, it's like safety. The moon represents safety and comfort. You got that in a new moon space, so it's completely naked. You know what I'm saying? So not only is it supposed to be your most sensitive and vulnerable energy, but it's completely naked. And then you have it in the space of Aries, which we know that Cancer and Aries square each other. You know what I'm saying? So that energy alone, it's like, okay, it's wartime. So in times of war, it's not really much comfort to be had unless you fight for it. And that's the key, right? Speaking of keys, Chiron is there. So mistakes is on the table. What we've seen as a mistake before, that should be able to give us a little bit of kind of like a ground zero, because from those mistakes and the information you was able to obtain from that, hopefully you've been, planting the right seeds at this moment, or leading up to this moment. Is just you interacting with yourself in the world, being aware of what it is you're experiencing and seeing like, okay, yeah, this is what I used to do, this is what I'm doing now, and this is where I'm trying to go. So how do I adjust what I'm doing now to, continue to rectify mistakes I made in the past, so that I don't repeat cycles that I need to break from? Because again, this being the year 8, it's all about how we go about breaking these cycles. Again, these loops and stuff that we keep on participating with, this is that time where we have to set the tone of how we're going to start that journey to get rid of these things. You know what I'm saying? How are we going to adjust these things and move forward in life and stop being so condemned by our own whatever you want to call it, fear, your own false beliefs of self, and things that don't coincide with you manifesting a better reality for yourself. Because it's very much on you. We all have to take that accountability, and we all have to be very extremely clear about what it is that we actually trying to adjust and fix when it comes to things going on in our subconscious, and how we want to act and move accordingly. So with Chiron there, right, the North Node is there in the mix too. So here's the thing, the knot in your chest is coming from your spiritual path and having the responsibility to show up for yourself and be willing to fight. Right now it's all about putting courage on your heart. You have to be courageous. You have to look at this energy like, look, shout out to Saint Uno, because again, like, when it comes to this time period, mistakes and things of that nature, it's like we have to make that decision to move forward regardless of what was made in the past as a mistake. And again, if you feel comfortable right now, you lying to yourself. If you feel comfortable right now, you're doing something wrong. You know what I'm saying? Everything right now should be highly uncomfortable, and you want to lean into it rather than trying to run away from it. You want to lean into that uncomfortability, because what you're really doing is you're activating that part of you that all possibilities needs to be played out through. You know what I'm saying? You cannot get to your truth without going through that shadow work, without going through that pain and that uncertainty, and then creating certainty through it. Anybody who's trying to cling on to comfortable shit, you're going to repeat those cycles, and you're going to be locked into a certain experience that you may not be happy with come September, come when we're dealing with that Virgo energy, and things are shifting, and we're having the Libra new moon. And you know what I'm saying, when we're hitting the Libra new moon and stuff, that relationship with yourself and what you chose to kind of tuck away and not address on a one-on-one level, these things are going to turn into everything that you express as resentment, and also the inability to connect and relate to others in a space to feel comfortable. Right now, you got to understand, being that it's an Aries season and it's Aries new moon and the solar eclipse, everything is about you gaining comfortability with self. And the journey we about to go on for the next 6 months is just that, your new self in this new world. Okay, now it's time to get with it. You know what I'm saying? How am I going to move forward? This is just setting the tone. So again, a lot of people might overlook this energy and think that they can just put it off to the next day and the next. There is no, what we initiate now is finna be what is carried out for the rest of the year. Now, if you make a mistake now, again, there's always time to correct yourself. But again, you missed a step. So the time it take you to go back and correct these things after it's already said and done, is going to be that much time wasted in that new energy that as we go on so forth. And so, you know, y'all know how I go. And again, if you're not taking accountability for these things as they come, this is how people end up, you know, lagging behind a little bit when it comes to their manifestations and what they're trying to materialize. But, you know, it's really deeper than that. You know, we're talking about spiritual, like, I want to say spiritual, your spiritual health. I was going to say happiness, but it's deeper than happiness. This is your health, because everything that make you happy not always good for you. It's about health. You know, spiritually, are you taking care of yourself? Is your spirit doing what it's supposed to do, you know, or in a space it's supposed to be in? You know what I'm saying? Because again, everything that a lot of what we decide to do in this world ain't really even got nothing to do with your spirit. You know, remember, we in this demonic ass world. So there's a lot of things we get involved with and participate with it that don't have nothing really to do with your spiritual health, but it does, because this is your experience. You're creating the experience as your spirit. So it all links together. It all has a meaning and reasoning. But the real question is, are you treating your spirit with respect? And respecting your spirit look like you allowing yourself to go through these experiences, not only openness, because it's not just about being open. Like, it's not about being open and you know, acceptable to everything, but it's about, you know, are you, first of all, playing out all possibility, or I can't even say that. It's like, are you, spiritual health got to look like, again, of course, individuality, right? But it's also got to look like you having a healthy balance of, first of all, knowing yourself, but then doing the things that you was inspired to do. A lot of times we become discouraged and we change our mind on things that we was actually meant to do. And we put it off for so many years until we wake up one day and say, yo, what have I been doing? Or it becomes something that we can't run away from anymore. And then we want to participate with it. But even that becomes depressing, because it's like, damn, all that time I wasted. So, you know, this is a chance for you to not have to go through that for another extended period of time and cycle, you know. And the reason it feels so, you know, why this year seems like a very strong karmic switch up is because, again, we had an outer planet shift. We had Pluto go into Aquarius. So it's like that kind of marks the new age of something, right? And again, it's like, you don't want to put yourself in a space where in this new age you still lagging behind. You know, this is an opportunity. Everybody's alive right now. It's like, it's a beautiful opportunity for us to actually make something, you know, make certain changes in our life that really do help the next development of, like, I don't know, it's like we got that opportunity. You know what I'm saying? If you alive right now, you got an opportunity. And then every day is an opportunity for real. When you wake up the next day, it's an opportunity to make your life better and shit. And it becomes difficult to acknowledge that sometimes, just based upon all the bullshit that it seems like we got to go through just to maintain life in this society and things like that, and all the hoops we got to jump through. But again, you know, what better, you know, there's no better time than now to take power and control over your actual life. You know what I'm saying? How do you create more time doing the things you want to do? Well, part of it is understanding these subconscious processes that we still stuck in that manifest more trials and tribulation in our life, because we're not aligned. Like, it's almost like the only way to use this society and what we got going on as a bitch, use life how it's supposed to be used, is if you correct these things that's going on within you for spiritual health. You know, say that's kind of what I mean by spiritual health. It's like, you know, cleaning up these subconscious things, because everything in the world has created trauma in everybody's mind. So how do we ease that tension? If we don't address it, it lives on through everything that we do and every connection that we create. And again, if you have kids, it's passed down. Real generational wealth is spiritual wealth. Being able to know that you dove deep within yourself to correct a lot of these things. And again, it's an ongoing process. So it's never 100%, but the effort you put into it is the effort you get out. And that is you passing wealth on to your children, because they now take what you learned and they are meant to take it further. You know what I'm saying? My father always was like, yo, like, I don't want you to be like me. I need you to be better than me, which, you know, it feels like a lot of pressure. And again, coming from the wrong individual, it sounds like some bullshit, right? But luckily I had parents who was really on their shit, and they knew what they was saying. They knew what they was teaching. But the purpose of all the children that we create needs to be to take what we knew and what we learned further. And if you're not looking at your child like, be better than me, and setting them up to actually do that, you are really the reason society is falling. You know what I'm saying? And again, it's hard to do because a lot of us, certain individuals had kids at times that they wasn't ready. Some individuals had kids at times where, you know, they didn't come to a conclusion, so they built a relationship with their child all the way up until this point of low-key jealousy. We see it all the time, right? And I'm not, you know what I'm saying, but it's a reality of the world, right? But even, you know, I'm talking flesh and blood, but like even beyond that, like the things we create and put in the world, the art you create, the whatever in art you create, but also the relationships you create, because how you interact with the world and impact other people is a form of you creating children too. The relationships you create and stuff like that, and how you make others feel, what you instill in others. Again, if you speak your truth, you spark the truth in others. You're doing good in the world. You're having good children, because it's like your ideas expressed. Remember, thoughts and feelings that we receive aren't ours until we agree to it and express it as our own. A lot of people express bullshit based upon the bullshit on their mind, and really it's just they caught ideas that could have been as equally positive as they came out negative, but where the issue was is in their subconscious processing. When they took it into themselves, how they broke it down and what they choose to express it in was filled with toxic, filled with trauma that they didn't resolve. You know what I'm saying? Two people can see the same thing. A tree. Two people can look at a tree. One person sees how this tree is fruitful and how it contributes to the environment, and they could want to uphold, you know, they could see so many beautiful things in the tree. Same person who could look at a tree and say, man, look, all that pollen, man. I don't fuck with trees. You know, trees, they carry pollen, bugs. I fuck trees. Matter of fact, I think I should chop this motherfucker down and do something. You know what I'm saying? And then that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? So we have to, you got to realize that it starts with you. You know what I'm saying? If like, and even how, like, you know, I know, like in my music and a lot of what we make as videos, subconscious community and stuff, like y'all might hear us say, oh, we changing the world and changing the world. And we say it so much, it might sound like some goofy shit, but it's real. It's really not, man. Like when you really on your path, and like what we're doing here is we're clearing things up internally so that we can speak life back into the world. Everything in society is programmed to recite death. Everything. You look on, I mean, the second you log on to any internet, any website, you see people just speaking death. Whether it be them warning you about this, warning you about that, trying to sell you something. You know what I'm saying? Like all these things, it's like speaking of death. And you might be wondering, like, how is somebody selling me something on TikTok talking about death? It's death because it's taking you away. It's making you feel like you need something else outside of you to feel like you up to par, or you seeing other people doing things. And again, people be lying. Everybody's trying to sell you a lifestyle. People, you know what I'm saying? You think somebody trying to teach you something genuine. They really just want you to come back to their website and buy their program. That ain't filled with nothing. It sound like something that sound good, but it keep people in a perpetual cycle of repeating the same bullshit. You know what I'm saying? It keep people still needing that thing that they're selling in order to feel alive. And I hope that when I'm expressing myself, y'all get the spark for yourself to create life outside of this. What I'm teaching, what I'm speaking to y'all able to take and go talk to your best friend, and it be something maybe you seen in a video I said, or something Mooney said, something Saint said, something Jackie New said. Oh shit, like, you know, and you able to speak life into somebody else rather than just another thing for someone else to get hooked on as a drug, whether it be validation or some form of dopamine, some form of lost pleasure, lust, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? And again, like what I'm expressing right now is the passion of the energy we have to be in, because we literally have to go to war for our individuality at the moment. And individuality, not in a negative sense of being selfish and self-centered and only in your own rabbit hole, only seeing things through your own eyes. I'm speaking of you being able to tap into a part of yourself that is authentic and true and bring that out regardless of how much fear and you know, again, we anticipate all these mistakes happening. Fuck all that shit. How can I take this shit that's inside of me that plays out as a piece of all possibilities? How do I bring it to the surface and express it? And again, it's not even about the how, it's about doing it and work, and everything that might come after the fact as a worry or stress, put that shit to the side. Leave that shit for God. God got you. It's like the second you bring in something that came from all possibilities, that trust, and again, everything I'm speaking of is the shit that we really needed to be tapping into with the moon in Pisces. Hopefully y'all was hearing me what I was saying, because I mean, sometimes I'm just getting the message out, but sometimes it's like I really be hoping that it's connecting on the ways it needs to connect, trying to speak it as many ways in as many esoteric languages as I can to reach everybody. But I know I can't reach everybody, and that's exactly why we doing things like Each One Teach One. We doing things like the 717 conference, even while we create tools and things like that, like the Daestar planner, because it's all about how many ways can I reach y'all. You know what I'm saying? And I say but I really mean all of us. You know what I'm saying? That's why all of us is like getting up every day trying to make a video every day. And and again, if you just on the surface for entertainment, it sound like we just saying the same shit. It could sound like something that you could easily overlook. But you know, my intention is that for this year, by the end of this year, fuck the end of the year, by the Libra new moon, it ain't no way you can overlook what the fuck I'm kicking or what the fuck we kicking. You know what I'm saying? That's how we coming this year. And that's how that's how serious we got to take our individuality right now and who we are. And see, the more you take care of that, like I was saying in the Daestar report for today, it's going to help also create opportunities through the Pluto in Aquarius, so that we can, as the age of Aquarius develops, our strength within self, our sense of self, and our commitment to our individuality and our truth and our piece of all possibilities, that commitment that we have to bringing that to the surface and speaking life into the world, that turns into a community of us doing the same thing. And that's how we build. You know what I'm saying? That's real building. And you might be like, well, because whatever I contribute to as an idea and you contribute to, it has no choice but to, because you could do the very same thing with negative shit. We see that all the time. That's what Twitter has become. You know, most of Twitter, you know, I'm not trying to demonize shit, but that's what most of Twitter has become. A bunch of demons agreeing on demon shit. Let's talk about these celebrities again. Let's give let's speak death on everything. It's sometimes it's like, damn, well, does that mean we can't have fun? I'm trying to figure out why people find fun and enjoyment in tearing each other down. Why people find fun and enjoyment in drowning in, you know, dopamine and shit like that, to the point where it's like, it's depressing. You know what I'm saying? The fact that everybody need a hit or something just to feel normal, that's not right. You know what I'm saying? We should be creating circumstances that it feel like an opportunity every day. Like I be speaking, like it feel like an opportunity every day to express ourselves and feel love, but in the capacity of sharing our truth and receiving what other people have to offer as fruit. Again, like when you around a bunch of people who speak in death, the fruit that they bear, it make you sick. And it might say, again, it's like fast food. It seemed like something that is good for a quick bite because you starving. And that's the thing too about the age of Aquarius too. Everybody's starving for good information. even especially the kids. And you know what I'm saying? And that's really what it's all for. Like I was saying before, what are we passing down for the next generation to have something for as nutrients? How are we nurturing the next generation if everything that they see coming up is the same toxic shit we had to endure? And what's the point of us cleansing ourselves if we not speaking that life back into the world so that the new generation could pick it up? How are we going to create change if we not trying to heal? And again, that's the thing. Healing is like a retro act. Like healing comes after the fact of something already traumatic happening. What if we can start with health, something healthy? What if we could start with heal, and instead of trying to reverse the effects, we preserve purity, we preserve something. You know what I'm saying? Like children, it's I don't know. You know what I'm saying? And I'm speaking way more with passion right now. Like, so it might not make all the sense in the world, but I'm speaking with passion because I woke up with, you know, these types of things on my heart. And you know, it's like damn, like, you know, I don't know. Shit make me want to cry sometimes, but it's beautiful tears. It's tears because I know in my heart I'm doing my part, and shout out to everybody else who's doing their part, because that's what matters, man. That's what I want my life to be about. Whether I get to see it in my reality, in my lifetime or not, that's not the point. I know that at least when I leave this planet, I did what I could. You know what I'm saying? And that's all I got to do. That's all God said I needed to do, what I could. Anything I can't do, again, that ain't my fault. I just did what I could, and let that be the testimony. You know what I'm saying? And again, if I spark the mind of somebody else who take it further, I'm proud of that. I hope I contribute to that. And you ain't even got to acknowledge me like that. I don't need flowers. I don't need that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't need acknowledgement. My acknowledgement is just knowing that, I don't know, while I'm here, I made something of that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. You know, but anyway, you know what I'm saying? This new moon, for the most part, look, you know, today is the prep. You know what I'm saying? Really take today to prep. You know, hopefully, well, I'm gonna make sure this video get out today, but make sure you spend today prepping. You know what I'm saying? And again, it ain't all perfect. Relationships ain't perfect. Life ain't perfect. It's not meant to be perfect. It just needs to be authentic and genuine, even if there's misunderstanding. The beauty about truth and what's genuine and authentic is it lasts. And no matter how much time needs to be taken, because again, the time frame for things to see truth sometimes can cloud your faith, can dirty up your faith, and you might lack faith at times. Like, but what's real is what withstands the test of time. You know what I'm saying? You got to understand, that's why everything needs to be done through spirit, because spirit is what lasts. All this stuff that make it look pretty is what's going to wash away over time, again, if it's not real. So it's like, that's all you got to know. You know what I'm saying? And right now it's a test to that, because everything in the sky is making it highly uncomfortable for you to commit to your truth and your individuality. Because, and I'm not even gonna say it's because God's testing you, because God don't really even test you. God moves through you. So either you choose to do it now and you're on the side of all possibilities, or you choose to go against it and you learn later on, oh, I was actually tripping. I was over here. I was supposed to be over here. I wasn't tapping into, God was working through me, because God either working through you to confirm that you on that right path by the things you manifest in your life and what you experience, or God is here to teach you how to get back on that path. You know what I'm saying? Again, not to even speak of God as if it's an individual teaching you. You know what I'm saying? Like, God just is, and either you walking in that path or you're not. And once you realize you're not, everybody come around. That's what it means. Everybody come around eventually. You realize, oh, I'm not walking in that path. I need to adjust. Some people go in loops and cycles. Some people move forward and they pass through. And that's how God working through you. It's either going, you know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody coming to teach you. Ain't nobody coming to save you. And that's how, and then that should, again, a lot of times on first instinct, that might create fear, but it should give you reassurance to know that, first of all, ain't no blueprint, so ain't no right or wrong. It's just about what you're willing to pay attention to and do. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to listen to yourself. What's your truth? And you have to do that. You gotta see it through to know if it was right or if it was not wrong for you. But see, a lot of people get caught up in that, and the first thing they want to do is demonize other people, especially when the conflict come. Oh, you're the reason, you're the problem, you're the, all that pointing and shit like that. But that don't do nothing for nobody. And right now, for those of us who are planting the right seeds, you're going to get a lot of people on that type of time trying to tear you down, trying to pick at you, trying to point at what you not doing for them. But it's not always your responsibility. It's not your responsibility to do for them, especially not in this time. You got to do for you. And those who you meant to be in alignment with will find it within themselves to create strength to be right there with you. And that's how we connect. We can't connect by trying to do too much for others at the moment based upon what they're trying to point at. Oh, I'm poking at, you know what I'm saying? Because people love to poke. But when you start looking at them and it's time to poke at yourself, they all of a sudden is they can't find what the issue is. You know what I'm saying? And like, that's everybody. It's hard to look at yourself and but right now it ain't even about that. It's about, hey, how we going to move forward? You know what I'm saying? How are you going to choose to move forward? With your best foot forward, or are you going to stutter? Are you going to trip? You know what I'm saying? You tripping, or you making the actual, no, this is where my footprint going. I'm stepping here. And again, even if you take a step and you like, damn, I should have went in that direction. The beautiful thing is, go in that direction. Switch it up. Switch it up. You know what I'm saying? It's your life. So you have the power and capacity to switch it up. You know, it's just people get so comfortable. But see, right now, the beautiful thing is nothing is comfortable. So take that leap. Walk that path you got to walk in. Start now. Start now. You know, this is the rebirth time. So this is the time to start something new. That's all I got, you know, for now. But I'm going to go ahead and make a eclipse video. Remember, and just to cap everything off, like I said, this conjunction, it's Chiron, North Node, Venus. So again, like, even Venus is a representation of self-love, but not in the selfish ways that most people equate self-love to. Like, oh, I need to spend extra moments in front of the mirror because I love myself, or I need to be extra closed off to relationships and people and anybody trying to get something out of me because I love myself. No, it's about, do you respect and appreciate and honor your individuality? And part of honoring that individuality is being able to engage in these relationships as yourself, regardless of whether or not you like what's going on and being said. Are you able to still show up as you and engage and speak on what you don't like, speak on what you do like, and stand in that, and also be able to take when you're not doing something right to someone else's individuality? Are you able to still acknowledge that? And again, you might not be even ready to accept that, but as long as you in the process of yourself acknowledging these things going on, like, okay, I think my individuality is creating conflict with their individuality. That's okay. We supposed to, you can't be an individual without conflict. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's not about hiding. It's not about trying to be a recluse. Right now, all energies of that is exposed. You can't hide right now. And if you try your hardest to hide and create the resistance for yourself, that'll just be your karma and what you manifest. Because the next full moon is going to be in, Scorpio. And you know what happened on a Scorpio full moon? Things get explode. You know what I'm saying? Things get transformed. So if you don't transform yourself now, you're going to have to answer for this energy during the full moon anyway. You know what I'm saying? So take that into consideration and treat yourself with the respect that you deserve. You know what I'm saying? Treat yourself like a real individual, like a real spirit. And you just might manifest real situations that you could look at and say, oh yeah, okay, I see what God trying to show me. I see what God got me working with. You know what I'm saying? Because we all got a gift. We all got something to work with. You know what I'm saying? It's just us getting in our own way so many times that create that difficulty of actually committing to that. You know what I'm saying? But Like I said, much love. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.